This episode contains discussions of a sexual nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Are you paid on an hourly basis, a daily basis, a weekly basis, or a monthly basis?
Hourly basis.
Is that correct, sir, or don't you know how she gets paid?
It's paid per student. Each student does 2 hours, and we pay her for the 2 hours for that student. If she has 2 students, that's 4 hours, she get paid for 4 hours.
Does that matter how much time she actually spends in the car with the student, or does that include her driving?
No, that's just with the student.
So if she has a 9 o'clock with a student who lives a half hour away, does she start her day at 8:30?
Yes.
But she doesn't get paid from 8:30 to 9, does she?
No.
Well, what's the furthest that you've had to pick up students?
The furthest was about a half an hour away.
Okay, so on any given day, she could be working from 8:30 to 6:30 with only the half-hour break. So that would put you into 9.5 hours, basically. And what is the pay per student?
She receives $15 an hour.
15 an hour?
Yes.
So I think there's a couple of things I can't get past. One is your very flat demeanor, your very, tight, reserved demeanor on a topic that I think would, for lack of a better word, arouse anyone's emotions. I don't get it. Judge Corriero?
Mr. McDaniel, I'm troubled by your response to the complaint made to you by your employee. And I say the word employee, I emphasize that because what also concerns me is that your defense in this case is that she was not an employee of mine, she was an independent contractor. That's what you said.
That is correct, but may I say that I was not trying to demean what transpired or whatever else. I was trying to get to the situation the best way I knew how. And before I got to that position, she said, "Let's go." They exited the office.
I did not say let's go.
I didn't get that
That's a
impression
lie.
from her. Please. I didn't get that impression from her testimony. You're not challenging the credibility of what she just said here in court, that a young man made sexual overtures towards her, are you?
She told me at 11 o'clock that he was aroused.
When a woman tells you that a male has been aroused, during the course of her working for you, your reaction should be, well, I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm going to go out there and find out what this is about. I'm not going to let anybody go out with this person. Righteous indignation at what happened to your female employee. Your answers don't seem to reflect that you are aware of what this meant to your employee. Now, we have to determine what was the financial impact of the emotional distress that you caused her by not being sensitive enough. I have nothing further.
Well, the parties are excused while we deliberate in this matter. Thank you both.
$1,200 of her $5,000 claim is attributable to emotional distress. To me, that's easy. If I go to my boss and I say somebody's been sexually inappropriate, and my boss goes to that person and says, "Was she nice?" That's an easy $1,200. Here's where I am on the unpaid wages. Initially, she couldn't identify any basis to my satisfaction that would have supported it. The best support for her claim came from him when you heard him admit that she's supposed to be paid for an hour.
Right.
I'm clear on $1,200. I'm fuzzy on the rest, but maybe there's a path.
Honestly, I'd like to give her the $5,000. I'm more than clear on the $1,200 emotional distress. You know, we shouldn't lose sight of the fact she's driving around the city in a car with a total stranger. It's very frightening, I would think, for her. I think she underestimated the value she was placing because I think she placed so much money on the lost wages. You know, he definitely said to me, she has an hour break. She's coming in a half hour early, going home a half hour late, and I would be very happy to give this woman the $5,000. Furthermore, I'm troubled by the fact that he really never said once to us that he didn't believe her. I mean, she was there 10 months, working 8 hours a day, never once came in with any sort of allegation such as that. And then he let the kid come back to continue to take drive. Did he put him in the car with other women? So I really have a problem with him, and I have a problem with the low-balling amount that she's asked for on her emotional distress, and I would for sure give her the $5,000. If we really sat and calculated, it would come up with that.
I'd like to hear Judge Acker's reaction.
So if we believe her testimony and we credit his concession,
Right.
the math adds up, actually. I think $5,000, I'm perfectly on board with that.